Stephanie. No, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, ma'am. I understand. I know my assignment. When I hit record, it's on. All right, so I'll go ahead and share my screen. We are going to see y'all, but that's okay. Okay, and press my share. There we go. Everybody should see that. Just let us know if you don't. But we just want to say welcome to this training session of Treasury Management and Business Banking Enhancements. We are going to pause throughout the presentation for questions. So if you're not already muted, go ahead and mute yourself, and then we can unmute when we have questions and a little game. And now I would like to introduce Molly Jones. She is our Small Business Services Manager. Molly.
All right. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The business banking team, we are super excited. These new products and services have been a long time coming. And so I just wanted to start this morning off just giving you kind of an idea of how I want you to, take in this information and how to, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So we have new products and services in business banking that are Treasury services, which are ACH and online wires. And for those products, I want y'all to think about those kind of like we do with a merchant referral. We don't expect y'all to be the expert. What we want y'all to do, y'all are the face of our organization. You see our members. And so we want you to have the tools and resources to be able to identify opportunities, listen for clues, maybe have a few questions to ask the member to see if these would be a good fit for them. And then you will be making a referral over to business banking, and we will take it from there. But we want to make sure you have enough information that you feel comfortable having those initial conversations, that you can identify the areas where this would be a good fit. And then, just helping connect the member to us. And so just wanted to say that before we got started so you didn't feel overwhelmed, because Treasury services can seem like a lot, but we are here to support y'all in that initiative. And today we have Chung Piercy with us. We have partnered with an amazing company, True Treasury, and they are our consultants helping make sure that we have these products set up perfectly, making sure all of our agreements, our disclosures, how our process is working. And so Chung has been my right hand through this whole process. And so I appreciate all her help. And she has offered to join us this morning and actually do the training specific to our Treasury products. So Chung, thank you for being here this morning, and I will let you take it from there.
Great. Thank you, Molly. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. And it's exciting as we roll out these new Treasury products. And the first phase of this is going to be the online wire transfers and ACH origination. So we'll briefly go through what each product really is and talk through some benefits and what Treasury management is. And we'll have some time to ask some questions as well. We'll start out with the real basics, right? What is Treasury management and why is it important to your business members? And so Treasury management is just a category of products that allow your business members to create some optimization in their everyday business. So the flow of money in and the flow of money out and how quickly and easily it can be done. And so it really does help them optimize their cash flow. So here are the three biggest things that Treasury management products help your business members with is maximizing, optimizing, and increasing. So maximizing return on cash. Treasury management, the products are automated, so it allows for a lot of streamlined processes. So the automation of investment and borrowing functions, and then also offsetting bank fees with available balances. Optimizing your cash flow. So anytime that you're able to remove paper out of your processes, it optimizes your cash flow and your expense from money management. For example, writing checks is an expensive process. Increased control and for dispersing and receiving funds. So just a stronger ability to be able to control how quickly you get your funds and how quickly you send out your payments. increasing controls and securities. With the automation, comes a lot of controls and securities that we weren't able to offer in a lot of these manual processes. For example, sending a wire out. That's typically one person going to a branch, trying to get a wire done. And it typically has to be the authorized signers that do that stuff. So it does take more time and planning. But with treasury management products, we have the ability to offer dual authorization control for dispersing funds. So somebody can draft it and then somebody can approve it. So it allows for a lot of internal controls that a business didn't have before. And positive pay, wire, and ACH controls can help minimize the risk of fraud. So again, when you're automating services, you have that ability for dual control, which will reduce external fraud as well as internal fraud. And the whole point of it really is just paying attention to the business's cash conversion cycle. So it's really important for businesses in this day to utilize their cash and know what their balances are as quickly as possible. So being able to understand what your cash position is as a business owner through your accounts receivable and then, of course, your account payable increases your cash flow optimization. We're going to provide some cheat sheets, and we'll show you it on the next slide. But the two products we've created cheat sheets for are online wire transfers and ACH origination. So online wire transfers offers a reliable and efficient solution for your business members to be able to manage their financial transactions. By utilizing the service, your businesses can ensure really swift and secure transfer of funds. And it helps them, again, bolster their operational efficiencies. With ACH origination, it's a process of electronic transactions. And we'll get into these a little bit more. But ACH origination is a process of initiating an electronic funds transfer between bank accounts through a system that is called the Automated Clearinghouse Network. And it allows businesses and organizations to electronically collect and send payments, make direct deposits, or process recurring transactions. So now we'll go to the next slide, which will show you the cheat sheets. And these will be provided to you after the training. But they're great little one-pagers, so you know that you're not alone. SRP has created a lot of tools and resources to help support your transition into these products. So you'll see, just for example, on the ACH origination cheat sheets, you'll see the benefits of ACH origination. You'll see at the bottom the types of ACH origination that a business can perform. And what I love is on the right-hand side, it'll walk you through the process of how a business member will perform ACH origination. So it's quick, it's simple, it's not too technical, but it allows you the opportunity to be able to ask questions if you're put on the spot with some of your business members. So those will be provided for you. Now we get into online wire transfers. Most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with wire transfers, and even online wire transfers, but it really is a method of electronically sending money from one person or entity to another via your online banking application. So it allows businesses to send funds quickly and efficiently from either their office or their home. So just a better way for your business members to have some efficiency in their business so they don't have to stop what they're doing and go into a branch to send a wire. How it works is an authorized user will enter the payee information onto the online wire portal, which can be saved as a template for future use. So once they put it in there, it can be a template that they can always go back to. The authorized user will then submit the wire to be approved. And then the authorized approver approves the pending wire before the cutoff time. And as long as that's done, the wire gets sent to the beneficiary the same day. Now, when we use wires, domestic payments, one-off payments, payments that need to be received same day, or reoccurring payments when no other payment options are available. So we see this a lot of the times, right? We understand with people always rushing into the branch at the last minute, having to do wires because somebody wants the money the same day. This is a perfect reason to use online wire transfers. And we'll go on to the next page and I'll talk through how to identify an opportunity, and then we'll pause for some questions. Your member needs to send a large amount of money and they want to make sure it gets there quickly and securely. They mentioned that sending a check takes too much time and you're not sure if sending an ACH payment is even possible. What options make more sense for your business member? Perfect cue to identify online wire opportunities. So what clues indicate this as a potential need? The need to send funds quickly, someone that has a large dollar amount and infrequent distributions, someone that sends funds to non-repetitive beneficiaries, so maybe somebody they've never done business with before, title companies, insurance companies, payroll providers, and real estate offices. And so, it's a great opportunity to be able to go out and gain some additional businesses and operating accounts from entities you maybe weren't able to do businesses before. For example, title companies are one of my favorite. They have high balances. They generate a lot of fee income, but they need online wire transfers. And so before offering the service, that's a type of business you wouldn't have been able to prospect. But now you can. So the wire transfer service, with this service, members can send wires through the online banking portal. It saves them time and money. And Molly will get into more of that later. Plus, the payment errors are reduced because the business member is entering the payment information. So that takes the burden off of the team members at SRP to do that. And then that information is saved for the business to send another wire if they need to. So less errors. And then we'll pause here just for a second and see if I have any questions from anybody on your team. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. There'll be time for questions at the end as well. Now, with ACH origination, this is a product that I think you'll see between wires and ACH. Those are just two products most of your business members are going to seek out when they're seeking out treasury management services. And now with ACH origination, it's a process of initiating electronic funds transfers between bank accounts through, as I mentioned previously, the automated clearinghouse network. So it allows your businesses or organizations to electronically collect payments, make direct deposits, or process recurring transactions, such as vendor payments. So how it works: a business will obtain authorization from a customer to initiate the transaction. We'll provide those authorization forms to your business members. The relevant payment information is collected and inputted onto your online banking portal on the ACH platform. And then the collected information is formatted into an ACH file and processed through the ACH network. And then the receiving financial institution will either credit or debit the appropriate accounts accordingly. Some types of ACH origination are direct deposits. Vendor payments is probably one of the most popular ones. Government payments, consumer payments, and collections. So right now I see a high increase in smaller businesses utilizing ACH origination for direct deposit. Payroll companies have all increased their fees, and a lot of smaller businesses are going to use QuickBooks or maybe an accountant to do their payroll. So if you see anybody that is, paying their employees with checks, they can actually provide a direct deposit at a much more efficient, low cost than a payroll company would offer. And some ways to identify an opportunity for ACH origination. We'll go through a couple scenarios and then I'll pause for questions. Now, in this first scenario, your member writes a lot of checks and you recently learned that they experienced checks fraud on their account. They also mention that they never know when their checks are going to clear and it causes overdrafts. Plus, they don't currently offer direct deposit. So, that just screams ACH origination for every one of the benefits. And so when we're looking at this, as I mentioned when we started, there's a lot of automation in treasury management. And so taking out check writing, where I see we're able to help with businesses create some efficiencies and help against fraud, is replacing check writing. And so if you have a business that pays a lot of checks to vendors, this is a great opportunity to supplement that with ACH origination so they can pay their vendors via ACH. Now, in scenario 2, one of your members that owns a strip center says they would like to collect their rent electronically, and instead of receiving checks, their tenants are also willing to provide the bank account information and mention it would be nice if the landlord could set up auto pay. This is a big space for credit unions that do a lot of commercial real estate leasing. So people that own commercial real estate, they lease back the properties and they're getting payments from their tenants. They have the ability now to set up collections, so ACH origination, but in a collection form, so that they can collect their rent every month. And this can be done in a couple of ways. Templates are set up and they can go in every month and just collect it, or they can actually set this up as a reoccurring payment. So they never have to look at it. The money comes in. So now they're not waiting for the checks. They're not waiting for the checks to clear. And anytime they need to pull a report of who paid them, that's easy to do as well. What cues indicate a potential need for this? A business that writes checks and or has experienced check fraud. As we mentioned earlier, anytime you can eliminate writing a check, you're decreasing your risk for check fraud. A business that does not offer direct deposit. A business that has overdraft activity or unsure of cash positions. And we all know those business owners, they have the money, it's usually in one account or the other, and you see them transferring back and forth. And a lot of it is because they don't really understand where their cash position is because they're waiting for a check to clear or they're waiting for funds to come in. So through ACH origination, they will have now a quicker way to get payments out. Once they leave their account, they know it's out. And when payments come in, they know they're there immediately. ACH origination has the capability of that allows business members to send draft payments electronically. This reduces their exposure for fraud, reduces costs, and helps prevent overdrafts, as the member will know when their share account will be debited or credited. So we'll pause there for a minute. That was a lot of information, and I think ACH origination is we all probably know what ACH is, right? But originating ACHs is a little bit different for businesses. So let me know if anybody has any questions. Okay. If you identify, or when you identify a need and you're like, oh, you know, this business member said something, I think this might be a great opportunity for ACH, but I don't know what to do next. Well, we were going to also provide you after the training some needs assessment questions that you can ask. So these are additional questions. You don't have to ask all of them, but they're all really good questions to dig into your business members or your prospects to try to identify if there is a need for ACH origination. And so we have one for online wires as well as for ACH origination. So this is a great tool that's just going to help you be able to ask some questions. And now there's a quiz. So we'll go through this really quickly. It's not serious. So everybody, you can just unmute and then call out the answers. The first one is, can a member use ACH origination to direct deposit funds to their employees?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. What product allows business members to send payments the same day?
Wire.
You were paying attention. Okay, this is true or false. ACH origination allows business members to send payments internationally.
No.
False.
False.
Correct. True or false? Is fraud still a concern with members who do online wires?
Yes.
Fraud's always a concern, right? And anytime you're doing things electronically, it's an even bigger concern. So we will educate your business members on things to look out for, but fraud is always a concern. Can business members set up reoccurring payments with ACH origination?
Yes. Yes.
Nice. Which product reduces risk inherent with paper checks?
ACH origination.
Great job. Which product allows a business member to create and save templates for future use to send money?
Wire.
This was a trick one. It's
ACH. Okay.
So that's the great part of this, right? We have these templates in there and you're able just to set up reoccurring or just go in when you need to and send a payment to anyone. So you get to save those templates in there so you never are looking for payment instructions again. Can an owner of a business give his bookkeeper access to submit or wire online if he or she is not a signer on the bank account?
No.
No.
They absolutely
Yeah.
can.
I was gonna say
Yes,
yes.
with the.
Yeah. And Molly always likes to interject on this one, so I'll let her explain on alchemy what you need to do on your side.
So when you are setting up a new business or an existing business that is just now getting set up for online banking, that is why it is so important that we clearly understand and sign up the master user as the business owner. So as the business owner, if I'm the business owner, I need to be the master user so then I can assign sub users. And those sub users do not have to be a signer on the account. They are being authorized to transact via the online portal. So the business owner can then, be very specific to the level of access that each sub user has and can actually allow a sub user to, submit a wire, submit ACH, do bill pay, or they can simply say, no, they can only view the accounts. So that's why it's so important when you're setting up a new business member for online banking to make sure your master user is the owner of the account of the business. So yes, we can absolutely do that now. It's a great feature. It allows for, business owners are very busy and they do rely on other people to help them with their cash management and bookkeeping. And so this allows them to do that. And the responsibility of making sure who their sub users are and what access they have falls on the business owner. But if they're not set up correctly as a master user, then, or if they're sharing their login information with their assistant or whoever, then that breaks that level of protection. So it's important that we get people signed up correctly and educate them that they can have sub users.
Great. And what's great about the online banking platform that SRP has is that you at any time you can go in and see who drafted the wire and who approved the wire. So just like we mentioned earlier, great form of dual control. Does ACH origination allow a business member to set up payments in advance?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. And then the last question, what is a cost-effective, secure way to replace sending checks to a vendor?
ACH.
Wire and
ACH. And
Yeah,
wire.
really, it's the cost-effective way of ACH, and that was the key word, right? Because wires do cost a lot more money per transaction than an ACH does. So the cost-effective way you could do it with both, but the cost-effective way to do that is through ACH origination.
And I'm
Great.
going to jump in real quick
Yeah.
here too. So in addition to the product sheets, y'all will also receive the Treasury fee schedule. Again, it's not something that we want you to feel like you have to go over with the member. We will discuss that in detail with them as we go through the process of onboarding them. But there are fees for these services. The actual online banking monthly fee for these services is $24. And then it's a $10 per wire and 10 cents per ACH transaction. So if you have a business member that's coming in often to do wires, they're paying $20 a wire. So this is going to be a not only a savings for them on the actual wire fee, but they're not having to drive to the branch. They're not having to, take time out of their day. And, it's going to reduce that per wire cost. And then the ACH at 10 cents a transaction, we are extremely competitive in the market against other financial institutions offering these services. So if somebody's currently using this at another bank, they're going to be excited to hear, our pricing. So just want to touch base that there is pricing on this and y'all will receive that information. But again, we will go over that with the member if that's not something you're comfortable discussing.
I have a question.
I'm excited.
Okay, hopefully I'm not going too deep into this. So on paying the employee side of things, um, does the system allow them to have their taxes taken out for the payroll, or is that something they'll have to do separately?
Right. So no. So it's not replacing somebody that wants to replace a typical payroll company where they have HR and all of and taxes taken out. It does not do that. So your real target market is going to be those business owners that are maybe using an accountant to do their payroll and then they're cutting out checks.
Okay.
So somebody that's going to give them their net number, direct deposit, a net number.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Good question.
That's a
Thank you,
great question.
Latoya.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Any
for
other
that.
questions?
Okay, great. Well, it's a pleasure to meet everyone. I'm excited for you, and we've got more to come, though.
Awesome. Thank you, Chung.
Of course.
So y'all are probably wondering, well, I mean, where are you going to put it, right? You got to put in a referral through sales vision, right? So when you talk to these members and you're just having that conversation, make sure you put in your referrals. So you're going to send it with your drop down to Treasury Services. So that's going to be your main group. And then we're going to make sure we add notes, right? You already do it, but we're going to do the contact information, making sure that you verify the contact information, which are super awesome at, and then notating in the notes like what they want to be contacted at, cell phone, business phone, email, etc. And then put in the Treasury options, and then any information that you can supply to business banking to just help have that conversation more efficiently, and just put that in there. So more notes is better than keeping it, hey, call them. You know what I mean? So all of this, our Treasury services are going live July 1st. So super excited. Yay. And then we have another thing that is going live as well, and it's our Community Boost High Yield Savings. Y'all, this is a great product, and so excited that we could be able to offer this to some of our business members. This is the marketing material, so it's just, I had to show you the prettiness that marketing made for us. And this will be able to be given out at the branch, talking with the member out in the community, etc. So let's get in depth into this new savings account. Excuse me. So first things, the business does have to be a 501c3 to qualify. So what does that mean? So in reality, it can mean a whole different type of businesses, but some examples include religious, charitable, educational, and then also those organizations that are specific to preventing cruelty to children and animals. And we're only offering this savings to 501c3. And the main reason is that we want to provide a solution to those organizations that are giving back in our community. So that's why it's a great option for them. So there is a $500 minimum to open the savings account, and there is a tiered interest rate that's based on the balance. And then one of the cool things is that it's fixed until the end of the year. So it could possibly change next year. And then the businesses that are in this savings account, they get an annual bonus dividend of 1% of the annual balance for the next 5 years. So that's sweet, y'all. The savings is available to new and existing business members, but as y'all all know and so great at doing, they do have to have the primary business savings, to establish the membership. And business banking is going to go out in the community and be talking about this product, right? They're going to also be calling and reaching out to the businesses that we know that are 501c3. And if you have a current relationship where you just are like, hey, I got the best business that would benefit from this, just reach out to business banking and let them know that, hey, I have this business. Maybe y'all can jump on a joint call together and just establish that relationship with our business service department. So let's just say that they're in the office with you, right? And you're having that conversation and the business is excited and want to, get more information about the savings account. So one thing is business services will be opening these accounts. So if they're in your office, you definitely want to make sure that you send an email to business services and put in the subject line, Community Boost, member in the office. Whoever is first available will drop what they can, everything they're doing and call you because they know that your time is precious and so is the members. And then they will basically walk you through it, getting the information, possibly setting those expectations for the member. So if it's just a prospect, someone that you know or that you had a conversation with, but they're like, hey, I don't have time to sit and wait, I'm out. Make sure that you also send the email, but this time put prospect. And then we want to put their information in, right? So we want to put the business name, contact information, and then if you happen to get any documents or that extra info, go ahead and put that in the email as well. And then after that, make sure you do put it in sales vision, right? We want y'all to get credit for the referral and the time that you're putting in and having those conversations with the business. So everybody wants to know the why, and I think that's great. So this is a great opportunity for SRP to grow our relationship with these community organizations. And y'all, this product specifically hits on the big five, right? It impacts our community. It expands our business service offerings. It's growing our new memberships and our deposit growth. And then long term, the potential to grow our loan growth is huge. So we definitely want to make sure that we're talking to those people in our community or people you might know. Does anybody have any questions on this new awesome savings account?
So I just want to reiterate I know this is a two-step process as far as sending over the information, and I'm sorry that we have to add the extra step. Our business services team is not, they don't currently have the sales vision piece, and it's also, we want to make sure that we get your email as soon as possible. So the fastest way is for you to email business services. And whether it's an existing member just opening the new Community Boost high yield savings account as an additional share, or a completely new membership that will include the Community Boost, we would need you to send those over to business services to be opened. And the reason for that is, as y'all know, with 501c3 nonprofit corporations, those are extremely complicated. We want to make sure that we take that stress off of y'all and let us help you. We will take care of opening all of it, getting, reviewing documents, doing that whole process. So with, as Stephanie has mentioned, you're going to receive all of these flyers that you have seen today. There will also be a quick reference and a how-to for the Community Boost high yield savings as well.
So going on to the next enhancement to our business products offering, y'all got an email back in June, or back on the 3rd, if I remember correctly. Sorry, looking at my calendar, about Savannah Riverkeeper and the association. So we're reintroducing it, and it's just a great option. So it's going to allow these new business memberships through this association. And just like before, SRP is going to pay that first year of association fees with Savannah River. So why are we doing this? Well, that's a good question. So SRP wants to be able to serve those business members in our neighboring counties that aren't necessarily in our field of membership. So business services will make it make sense for SRP as a business and help that business potentially become a member. So for example, a business in Orangeburg probably makes sense, whereas a business in Atlanta probably does not make sense. So like Coca-Cola will not be an SRP member. Okay, so with this association, it does have to be approved by business services. So if you have the member in your office, you're going to do the same thing as the savings account. In the subject line, you can use the acronym, guys. SRK and then member in office. And again, business services first available will stop and call you. And what they want to do is they want to just have that conversation with the owner control that's in your office to make it make sense. All right, so if it's just a prospect, same thing, put prospect in your subject line, and you're going to include the full name of the business, right? Because it's a brand new member, the physical address of the business, and the ID of the owner and control, and the contact information. So just wanted to notate that when these accounts are being opened, that both the Savannah Riverkeeper consent form and application do have to be completed, and part of that documentation that is emailed to business services along with the regular documentation. And so we took the procedures that y'all got on June 3rd and we did put those on the intranet. So it's under ELD and business tools. So you'll be able to reference that at any time if you're one of those people that doesn't go back to their email, because I get it, y'all get a lot. So super cool enhancement for our business members. Molly, did you want to speak anything extra on that?
No, but I did forget to mention one thing. Y'all should have all received an email from Ebony on Friday afternoon that had the procedures for sales vision for these referrals. So please look back at that email. It was on Friday afternoon, I don't know, around 4:00-ish maybe. But just making sure you do all the steps for the sales vision correctly so that it does come to us. So please look for that in addition to this training.
And can I add one thing, Stephanie and Molly? This is Jennifer.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
I did get a question last week about the SRK. SRP is paying the first year of their membership, and the member would be responsible for paying their membership through SRK, but that doesn't have anything to do with their membership at SRP. So once they join through SRK, they're a member. They do not have to continue that membership with SRK to continue their membership with SRP. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Great. Good point, Jennifer. Thank you. Stephanie, you're muted.
I don't know how that happened. That's weird. Hey, okay. So you saw the facial expressions, but I am really excited about this because this is our relationship pricing enhancements, and it's just so pretty. It just it's pretty, y'all. So it does have on here the update with the community boost savings, and we just wanted to point out a couple of other things that have been updated when we go live with everything July 1st. So with our business premier checking, we all know there's a $15 a month service fee and that we offer a waive option. Well, we added an additional one. So now the $15 service fee can be waived with the cumulative business loan, business credit card balance of $150,000 or more, or a combined deposit share daily balance of $5,000. So it's awesome that we're able to offer another option to waive the service fee for those business members that are in that checking account type. With our nonprofit checking, we basically just mirrored it to everything else and added an activity fee. However, it's very high. So they get 500 staff assisted transactions per month free, and then any item after that is the 25 cents, which is the same as the others. Instead of calling it online banking for business or business online banking, I know we've all called it something else. We have changed it from the gold to the green to basically mirror the type of checking account that it relates to. So it's Access e-services and then Premier e-services. And so, with business access checking, they only have the option to do the Access e-services, but with Premier and both nonprofit, they can choose the Access e-services or Premier e-services. So it's awesome, and it mirrors what we're trying to match it to. So again, this goes live July 1st with everything else.
And the only reason, the difference between the Premier and the Access is really the Treasury services. So unless they're using their Treasury services, the Access checking is going to have everything else that, Premier would have. So just want to make sure it makes sense for the client. And business banking will be the ones to enroll them in the Premier e-services. You would just initially set them up in the Access e-services, and then we would update it.
Awesome. Good point. So do we have any questions that maybe you're waiting until the end to ask?
So from what I was just reading, they have to have Premier to be able to do the Treasury. They can't have access. Okay.
Correct. And that $24 a month is a monthly fee and not waived like the monthly maintenance fee. That $24 remains consistent. And we have about 11 members currently on the platform doing ACH and wires, and we have gotten amazing feedback. We've heard this is so much easier than my other bank, and that this is a company that uses a big bank. So we were thrilled to hear that. The onboarding, and we do go through the onboarding underwriting, and we do approve them for these products just because we want to make sure we understand how they'll be using them, the limits they need. And so there is, I would say typically from start to finish, it'll take about 10 days before we would start seeing live transactions. But with your Sales Vision referrals, our team will actually go in, and as soon as we have them live and onboarded, mark that referral as sold. So.
Awesome. Does anybody else have a question or a comment?
One other question we got yesterday, which was a good one. If you have a member that comes in that has the Treasury services and they need help with something, again, I don't want y'all to feel like you have to be that resource for them. We do have an email group, which is Treasury Support at srpfcu.org, which will all be on the information I provide. But you can simply send an email to Treasury Support and let the member know that we will contact them. That does come to 3 of us, and very similar to how you send something to business services. If you have a member in your office, if you put that in the subject line, we will try to call you as soon as possible to help them while they're there. But if not, if they say, oh yeah, you can just have them call me, we can certainly do that and walk through any questions or concerns they have. But it's a very
Awesome.
user-friendly, really great member experience thus far.
Yay, that's wonderful. So if you think later on, throughout the day or after we go live and you have any questions, please make sure to reach out and ask those questions. Knowledge is power. So I hope y'all have a wonderful Wednesday, and we appreciate you being on the call.
Thank
Yes,
y'all.
thank y'all so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a
you.
good
Have a
day.
good day.
Thank you.